Goodness gracious, everybody. Yup, it is that time once again. Let's do this, y'all. Alright, so an end of an era. I guess it's befitting to say that. Definitely is the end of Trump and the start of Biden. Yo, I'm sure half the country is mad and half the country is happy. Yeah, was it a brighter day for y'all? Let me know. But yo, it's happening. All that is Biden, right? So pretty neat. He actually got, he signed the entire Paris climate agreement thing again. So we're back into that. So definitely, like I was speaking of, Biden definitely going for the Green New Deal, or like a more green Earth, trying to cut down emissions, climate control, and all that good stuff. So definitely investors, EV, that's where you kind of want to, probably put some money at right now. Some EV stocks would probably be pretty good. Hydrogen's been kind of doing well, and which is interesting. Another alternative. So we are definitely trying to cut out fossil fuels for sure, which is pretty neat. I like that, to be honest. I've only really heard so much of climate control. I haven't done my true research of it. But yeah, sure, maybe my lifetime, but for the future, generation, for my nephews and whatnot, if they have to deal with half or a portion of the world is unlivable because of actions taken of today. So I definitely am more for a greener, what's it called? A greener planet. So, what I'm saying, with the new, why I bring up the entire end of an era type of thing. At least for me, I'm not, hopefully it's not too loud. Maybe I could silence it just a tad bit more. Okay, so hopefully that's better. So yeah, why I bring that up is because we have to see people for their actions and not just because of who they're affiliated with. So right now, I'm liking what Biden's doing. I don't know why Trump would want to get us off of that unless he had a better idea for America to approach climate control, but I don't think he ever introduced anything. So yo, hella dumb. So that's pretty cool. And then what's it? I think Joe Biden has a nominee for a new Secretary of Treasury, or a Treasury Secretary, and that is Janet Yellen. I know I'm talking a lot of boring things, but this is interesting to me because pardon me. Okay, just had to clear my throat. What's it called? Yeah, for those that don't know, Janet Yellen, and this is exciting news to me because, like I said, I used to be a political junkie early in this decade, and Janet Yellen was actually a Fed chairman of, it was actually the Fed chairman, where Jerome Powell is currently, in that position. So, and she was literally the previous one. So, pretty much the Fed for the past decade has been has literally been money printer go, I can't really roll my R's. Not gonna try. But yes. So that's pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, stimulus. stimulus is going to be pretty much a must, and it's kind of convincing too, to be honest. This one, I think they're trying to be a little bit more targeted towards smaller, smaller business owners. So, yeah, if those if those smaller businesses get those, get that stimulus, they'll like keep their employees, still be able to pay them, and then those employees will be able to go and buy things. Pretty much, and then that will help the economy. So yeah, honestly, like all this like doom and gloom, if you ever are getting into like politics and you just hear about all this like disaster coming, it truly is not. In my opinion, unless like we just stay in these like lockdowns and somehow just keep with the money printing, like which is through the lockdowns. So at least for me, I'm hoping that this vaccine comes out and it does well. I've been hearing some like crazy side effects though. I think I saw like a article that I showed last stream. It was saying something about like Swedish nurses like died after like getting the vaccine. So, oh man, I just hope that a better vaccine comes out better, or something with like less harmful side effects, or at least intense side effects. Because people have to get out and about. It sucks, Now that brings like another topic that I kind of want to like talk about, but I think we'll like bring that up for later, and that is like the topic of death. And definitely death is like a thing to talk about. So, some cultures see death and it's just like all sorrow, while some cultures believe in a better, or like just they just see it in a different perspective. And I think that'd be neat to talk about and like try to get people's like views. But I think we should like keep on with like Biden's America, and pretty much we know what his plans are, but like how is Biden's America that he is inheriting, to be honest? Because seriously, like I feel like after 2020, it might just be me, but I feel like a lot of people are just gonna like, I'm like too stressed out after the entire like election and all this bickering and shit like that. They just like might like give something a pause, like social media a pause. I want to say that might happen, but I doubt it. But nevertheless, like this America that Biden has at the moment on his first day is very divided. And I feel like if you go to a lot of Americans, they'll say the same exact thing. But what do we do about it? Of course we can, like I said, we can point out these problems, but what do we truly do about it? Do we go the way, if we just can't like seem to coexist and kind of come together? Like, so I feel like a lot of this bickering does come from a lot of politics and the two-party system, but of course there are other things as well, as in like police brutality and stuff like that, where it's not truly just like politics there, but like just truly evil doing going about, and we gonna have to like find these ways to go about it, or like come together and get on, live on. I think we can come together as one people of like a nation. But I do feel like it's gonna get it has to do something away from the two-party system. but I know that's not gonna like, you know, truly be the answer to like all, but I feel like it would help. I don't know, I would like to test it at least. I know definitely for sure there's gonna be a lot of like different variables with a new like party coming in, and like how that affects like states is like, do they go that route? But I mean, who wouldn't like want to be willing to try that after like all this like nonsense has been happening with like government? I don't know. I always felt like government has always been, you know, the elites, like the rich elites that just stay there, that like, you know, kind of, they're like career politician, like, you know, as like someone has like termed it, I forget who, but I think it's I don't know, to be honest. It's, you know, like I said, I'm not like a Trump supporter at all, but definitely Trump was like in the direction, but like, you know, Trump wasn't, you know, it was definitely not the person, you know what I'm saying? But I hope that like sparked something, because like I said, I hope a third party comes, and, you know, hopefully that kind of like, you know, eases like certain tensions between like two party systems and all that, and we try to like find like different things and different solutions, you know. What's it? Yeah, my homie posted on like my previous chat about or I know it was like the chat, I forget, but like, yeah, it was like talks of like Bill Gates speaking of like kind of like, you know, what, culling the numbers, I don't know, because, you know, we are, you know, the human population is growing exponentially while our earth has like finite resources. So, you know, going back, I digress, like I hope there's a party that can like figure something that out. An interesting thing that I saw that, you know, was in another like, what's it called, little documentary. It was called The Zeitgeist, like Peter Joseph something, or maybe his name is Peter Joseph, and he made like The Zeitgeist. I think it was the first one. He had like a little segment of this guy named John Pierre or something. I gotta look the name up, but he's part of the Venus Project, and what the Venus Project pretty much was I could like just type it in and like or no, yeah, his name is Jacques Fresco, so no Pierre, sorry. Terrible. So the thing I've heard of like the Venus Project is that it takes, you know, it's pretty much dedicated land to just like growing and stuff like that. Or at least from what I picked up from that little segment, where it is truly just like, you know, if you took the entire Bay Area and it was just for growing fruits and vegetables, and you know, I don't see why not. Why not even give it a try? You know, I took a class in community college where it was like indoor growing pretty much, and it like it just got you to think of like how to manipulate your environment around you to replicate different areas. So, you know, kind of like the Bay Area is a little humid, so you try to make like, you know, and you're trying to grow something from the desert and it needs nothing but dry heat and no humidity, you know, you know, put it into like a room put it with like a crazy light bulb that's like super hot. But you probably still get humidity somewhere, so you get like a dehumidifier or something like that. Or yeah, I think that's like the best way to truly like get rid of humidity. So I wouldn't say why not. I mean, I feel like we would only really truly implement that if, like, yeah, if climate control really did get bad and it's like, oh wow, you know, California that grew so many almonds can't even grow almonds anymore, or it can't even grow anything, let alone almonds, which it was known for. So like we might have to like move on to these facilities that recreate these environments for plants to grow. Sort of like another thing too, like what they might have to do for Mars if like they want to go up to Mars. So it's all pretty interesting of like the future and all that, and Biden's America. You know, the possibilities. You know, I'm not trying to make this all like, oh my god, like the world's over, we all not gonna get along, but like there is definitely some animosity. How we're truly gonna get like you know, around a lot of these things, we just gotta have to like, I guess, appease a lot of groups. I mean, definitely for sure, like if we kind of call out and like, you know, smoke these like smoke out the evil bad people. I know, terrible like terminology that I'm using, but you know, just like weed them out, because like I try not to let an actions of one person like define the entire group of whatever they could have been part of who they are. So, you know, I don't have all the answers, but I definitely would love to hear from all those that do tune into the stream or will catch this later down in the comment section. And definitely I am on YouTube at the moment, so you gotta plug this in. Hit that, you know, if you like what you're seeing and would like to support, definitely hit that subscribe button. That would help a lot. Also that bell and the notifications. All right, I mean that is the bell notifications, and also the like. There you go. Still getting used to it. Mostly a Twitch person. I really did more gaming than podcasting, but I'll get back into gaming hopefully one of these days. Maybe after this, who knows? I actually kind of wanted to. I'm probably gonna be doing. What's it called? Smash. Definitely Friday for sure. If not as well Thursday. I might try to implement something, or at least like a queue line. I remember I had one before, but I think it's just I think I took it out, and it always bugged me having like a random bot as a mod, but it makes sense, you know. Has to control your chat to be able to get all the users and whatnot, or all the peoples, and have them in the queue line, yada yada yada. All right. But yeah, Biden's America, yo. Like, congrats to the old man. I think I saw, or not, at least me personally ran into it, but I tuned into Tim Pool's like his Tim Cast IRL stream. He ran into an article from Quartz that was already like, yo, what happened if Joe Biden dies? And you know, it's nutty. I wonder who like wrote that. But you know, they really read it. They like read it out loud on their stream, and you know, they just gave out the gist of like what would truly happen. And yes, it would just go to Kamala. Like if you didn't know the real answer, hey, it would just go to Kamala, the vice president. But they also like gave out other presidents who have died while in office, and some notable ones as like JFK and of course Abraham Lincoln. But you have like was it RFK? Franklin? Or whatever, Franklin D. Roosevelt. I don't know. One of those people's. I don't know my presidents at all. But yeah, interesting enough how that's already out, and isn't this man's first day in office? Not even like his true 24 hours or up yet, has gone through a day. And they're already like, yo, what happens if he passes away? Crazy. But I mean, that's the media, right? They gotta like talk about something. Interesting to hear, at least, I keep hearing it from, I guess like Tim Pool and his like group of like guests, and yeah, I mean, that's like a lot of like the people I tune in at the moment. A lot of his streams are a lot to intake, but yeah, like news medias and like at least like Twitter was on the brink of like going out of business or going under. So I'm curious if that's like true or not, because yeah, I mean they credit Trump to like reviving that stuff, because everything is just like bash Trump, at least for that side of the media, and yada yada yada. So I'm curious as to what's gonna happen with the media. And I mean, yeah, they have to talk about something, so talk about if this man's gonna pass away sooner or later. And yeah, Kamala would be the president. But yeah, like I said, I hope that after all of this, like, election, like, craziness and, just tensions are up. I mean, stuff is not true, I hope tensions are, they're still high. And what I hope is that it eases off now. Sure, they're still around, and it's not like we can just forget about these subjects. But like, I hope, with then, with all this like out now, and yay, like Trump is gone and there's no more of these, oh, he has a lawsuit and there's a possibility. So we finally have like stability in that. So hopefully everyone kind of just takes like a moment off of like social media and just like, okay, enough of this. We're just gonna focus on what we have to deal with in our lives, pretty much. Because overall, in the long run, that's how I feel like a lot of people should do, is kind of build their community, build them up, and kind of just help each other out, make each other better, spread positivity, positive vibes. And then when certain things, I guess, like politically happen, kind of just like embrace, or kind of brace for impact. Not, I think I said embrace, but you gotta brace for impact for whatever happens with these years, because I don't know. I'm curious as how 2024 will play out, because if it gets crazier than how 2020 was, like for election politics and all that was, then yeah, like it's just getting more extreme, and hopefully by 2024 there's more of that, like, we should have like a third party. But who knows, maybe, there was talks about Trump starting his own party, and then of course Kanye West is still trying to run for president, so who knows, maybe it'll be Trump and Kanye as an independent. These two people have lots of money, and now it's not like, okay, well, I mean, it's still like Kanye with Trump, but yeah, people still hate Trump. I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm curious if that truly happened, how the world would react. Now I'm kind of sad that all this chaos is gone. I wish it was 2024. I want to see some chaos. Man, how will it be? It's funny how like The Simpsons was like, yo, we have all this debt from like President Trump, and yeah, like Lisa had to inherit it, and I mean, Biden's not a girl, you know, I shouldn't assume his gender, I shouldn't assume it, but he's not Lisa Simpson, unless you say someone like Kamala Harris is. Then Kamala Harris could be the Lisa Simpson and be like, hey, we inherited a lot of debt. But like I said, there's not going to be such craziness in my opinion, or all this, I don't know, all this like gloom and doom talk, like, oh, all this like crashing and we can't like sustain how much money this is and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, kind of like forget how big America is. It's interesting. Like, you know, I used to be that way, to be honest. Like, I used to think like, oh my god, all this printing will just like make everything go crazy and we'll just like go into like, you know, some hyperinflation. But to be honest, like, yeah, maybe if we just not work for another like year or two. Or maybe not even just that. Like, I heard because of like because no one's like spending and everyone's kind of like more on the saving end, like inflation can't truly even happen. It's more in like a stagnation, or could be even like going to a deflationary like price action, I guess. Best way to go about that, term that, or yeah, use that terminology, whatever. So I mean, we'll see. As long as like we can get back to, you know, producing and working, we'll honestly be fine. You know, America does make a lot of things, and our GDP is actually kind of like high. You know, and overall, like the assets and everything else, like what's it called? Yeah, the assets and everything that America has is just like, it's way more than, you know, our debt will ever be. Yeah, we truly aren't on like a you know, like, you kind of like think of as America as truly as like a, you know, if it was like a person, then America would be like balling, and like that $23 trillion debt is like, oh yeah, that's kind of like normal because he makes that much. America makes this much money, so like that being only like maybe like 10% of like all of everything that America has. Yeah. And also like that debt too. I've seen, I haven't done like the research myself, so I know I have to like do it myself. But I've seen where it's like distributed, like the debt of America, because you know, like there are like bonds, and that is literally debt from America. That is literally an IOU from America. They're like, yo, if you give us this much money, we'll give you this much money by this much year at the rate of this percent, and it should be this much money because of that percent, yada yada yada. And then yeah, that's, you know, that's where, you know, debt is given off to, you know, debt is given off to the people, and then of course to like foreign nations, and then Federal Reserve has their own, and I think another portion is the government. So yeah, honestly, I don't believe America will be like getting to these like depressions anytime soon, but definitely for sure with like with a lot of like Americans out of like work, you know, we need people to spend money. That's the thing. So it's gonna be interesting on how they're gonna take care of that. But like I mentioned earlier, Janet Yellen, who was the previous federal chairman before Jerome Powell or J. Powell. Yeah, she was in charge of the money printer, and then she, in an interview recently, or I think just today, was like, "Yeah, I think stimulus is amazing." And every time someone like asks, I'm like, "What about the inflation and all this money printing and like the, you know?" Honestly, at least what she says, like we can't think about that now. We have to think about, you know, the American people first, and think about that later. Which I'm hopeful that is the best way to go about it. But that is definitely, speaking of stimulus and maybe a universal income. I've already seen like an article where there's already like some cities are doing a monthly income already. Like they're trying it out. And yeah, we might get to a universal income. But it's funny, someone who was running for president was talking about that, but they didn't. Yeah. Politics. I swore I saw this recently. There you go. Like I said, I saw this a day ago. Okay, let's look at this. So, yes, meet the mayors pushing for guaranteed income in 30 cities across the country. So, yeah, January 19, 2021. So, yeah, it just pretty much lists off all these places, and they're like, yo, this is the reasons why we are doing it. And, yeah, when you look at 2020, then inequities that have been illuminated this year. You've also seen the injustices that a lot of black and brown people have encountered for generations is systematic, says LeVar Stoney, mayor of Richmond, Virginia, where the city is piloting a program in which citizens will receive $500 a month for 24 months. Some people may think this is a radical idea, but I think there's nothing radical about helping people. Currently, 18 Richmond families have been confirmed for participation after being randomly selected from a pool of the Office of Community Wealth Building clients who the city has determined suffer from a cliff effect, where the family makes too much money to qualify for federal benefits, but not enough to live comfortably as measured by the region's living wage. The city sent a list of participants who met that criteria to an independent research team at the University of Pennsylvania Center for Guaranteed Income Research, who performed a random selection. Hydration, y'all. Stay hydrated. But yeah. Oh shoot. I'm like looking at all these other things. That's my I look at that for chat. So, you know what I'm saying? New York has its I thought I was gonna like show you everybody. But yeah, there it is, that person I was talking about, universal income. Andrew Yang. Okay. I hope I hope my city, you know, takes that on. I think that'd be sweet to get some universal income. Did I even show this to my Discord? If I didn't, I'm sorry. Yo, join that Discord. It's on this to your left, my right. POV Discord. Link is in the bottom. Definitely come through. If you say something interesting, I might hit up the Discord. I usually don't. I'm terrible at it. I just use it to post information or these like articles that I like wanna look back on. Definitely I'm probably gonna take like Ooh, actually, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a day for Discord, actually. Let's do that. Let's just go through my Discord and randomly just talk about it. See some interesting stuff. I know there's a lot of things that have been piling up. So I think that'd be sweet. And interesting to see. Hopefully it doesn't get me destroyed. Destroyed on Twitch. But yeah, I'm hopeful for this new America, Biden's America. Definitely there is a lot that is coming with it. Yeah, other than, just his, policies and all that. There's also all the other kind of like aftermath of like 2020 and all the tension that's happened. Like I've been kind of saying throughout the stream so far, but I do hope for a third party. I think that would be sweet. I just don't, I haven't put much thought into it as like how it would like run operate, but I mean, it would have to be very similar to, like the Democrats and the Republicans. I mean, as in like not like policy wise for sure, but like they're gonna have to like, okay, we might have to get a lot of stimulus here. We might have to cut some funding here if we don't have enough money. This is interesting. At least when I was like back in the news, like I said earlier in this early of the 2010 decade. Political junkie. I was definitely hearing all this about like a fiscal cliff and there's like debt ceiling, like we can't like go past it, or we just gonna have like to shut the government down, this and that. I'm guessing that's like the government debt and how much they had on book or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, now it's just like, we can kind of just print. Kind of just print all the stimulus. But like, nevertheless, I still am hopeful, even though there has been all this like doom and gloom, and I do feel like a lot of this stuff does get kind of like hyped, I guess, like during election years. It definitely is for sure, like, as well as the market is, so used to like what has happened the previous 4 years. So it's been like adjusted to like run on that. But now, of course with like elections and all that, the markets have to like, different policies are coming. We have to like get ahead of it before these things like come about. So, some corporations might be like selling this off, or, blah, blah, blah. whatever they can do before their policies get changed up. Blanking out what I was going to say there previously. Okay. But yeah, it's interesting, as I have it like as my thumbnail and all that. Like people are saying that Biden's like Jesus or something. Is that supposed to be like why he looks like that? So I don't know. That's kind of like, I would, well, always thinking of like the death part when it comes to like Biden, and I hate to say that, but it's interesting. I just saw recently that like the average male, like US male, is supposed to live up to like, or like, lives up to like 76, 77. Wow. I did not know that. I thought it was a little longer than that. I don't know. My grandfather has been around for a minute, which is not a bad thing, but for me, I always be like, oh yeah, that seems normal, right? Like, yeah, I'll live as long as my grandfather or something like that. Like, it should just be. I don't know. But yeah, everyone is different body wise and what they've done to their bodies, this and that. Um, uh, but yeah, so Biden's already older than the average U.S. male, and supposedly another statistic too. Oh, it's actually in that article, that Quartz article. They're saying that Biden is already 14 years older than the average. Like 14 years older than the average, like death of like someone from his like time era. Like usually people from like I guess like the 40 or yeah, I guess he was born in like the 40s, have lived only up to like 60 something. So it's kind of nutty. Um, and also too that people are what's it called? Um, yeah, it's nutty that they're already talking about his death. Nutty with all those facts, and to have him as Jesus and like the little like flyers and whatnot. And yes, I know those are probably different people. Just ironic how maybe it connects if anything. Yeah, will Biden have to pass away and then resurrect in 3 days and he becomes like a new person? And then they like introduce like stem cells work and we're gonna do all these crazy stem cell research. I don't know. Look at some random things on sorry, looking at Twitter right now. All the interesting stuff that is taking place. And everyone's getting on that Bernie Sanders thing where he's like super like warmed up, huh? I don't know, it just interests me for a bit. Um, but yeah. America. Wait, what? So I guess there's at least this is like what I'm seeing on Twitter. There's like a Willy Wonka prequel. I could have sworn there's already a Willy Wonka prequel, and that was the Depp, the Johnny Depp movies. Supposedly a 2023 release. Oh wait, yeah, it's Willy Wonka, right? Yeah, wasn't Johnny Depp's version like supposed to be pre like Willy Wonka? I don't know. It is interesting um how like rights play out. Cause yeah, like definitely people that have like the rights to like movie characters that the owners don't have, and the owners could always get it back if yeah the people that have the rights don't use it within like a certain period of time. So that's why like certain like things get like thrown out or made, and it's just like why was anyone asking for that? So I guess Wall Street Journal has like an early preview. I don't know, I should have probably like laughed, but it says Biden calls for unity. We must end this uncivil war that pits red against blue. I don't know, like the was it like necessary to use the words civil and war? Like, can it have been like this like civil, like, unrest or something, or something like better? But it just has to be like very, like, I get, everyone's been using civil war, so he'd have to be like, yo, this is not a civil war, this is an uncivil war. We're just being uncivil. All right. It's actually, I should go look that up, to be honest. I haven't heard this man's speech. Here, let's go listen to this one person that I tune into. I mean, here's one where he signs executive orders. Screw it, let's watch his 2-hour
Hey everyone,
video.
Welcome. Today is inauguration.
Oh dang!
We're gonna have a blast today. We are gonna be in the.
Yo, this is. I remember hearing something about Michelle O. Like, I think she was like trending, and this is the reason why. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that looks hella gangsta, like what she's wearing and shit like that. Definitely a color that stands out. I'm liking it. And get on. I can get on board with it.
Discord, we are going to have.
But yeah, I like a trench coat. Wouldn't that be sick?
Stock analysis during Biden's speech. We are going to have a blast, and we're going to.
So yeah, this guy's name is Meet Kevin.
So you don't have to. So it'll be super fun. I think we'll have a blast today. So we'll go ahead and start with panel flipping, answering questions, adding commentary.
The Honorable George W. Bush and Mrs. Laura Bush.
It is an exciting day. I mean, no matter whether you're left or right, it's an exciting day. So many people come to this.
I could have sworn I saw someone that like their mask down. I was like, what?
Yeah. So my birthday is on the 28th. So I will update that to say birthday month.
This man here.
But so far, let's go ahead and also see how stock.
Okay. Just really wanted to see Biden's thing. Probably way later, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I should probably. All right, cool. I was like, I didn't just go to the end, right?
Chief Justice Roberts.
She'd have her mask.
President Harris.
Oh, what the heck? Who are these people?
Speaker Pelosi. Leader Schumer. Leader McConnell. Vice President Pence. My distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. This is America's day. This is democracy's day. A day of history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been
I wonder who has like the fanciest face mask.
We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile.
They're like,
And at this hour, my
because
friends,
like peacocking is still a
democracy
thing,
has
right?
prevailed.
This man is a camo. Trying to be cool.
So now,
Powerful statement.
on this hallowed ground where just a few days ago, violence sought to shake the Capitol's very foundation, we come together as one nation, under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power as we have for more than 2 centuries.
Under God.
As we look ahead
Doesn't that disenfranchise
in our uniquely
everyone
American
that
way,
doesn't believe in
restless, bold, optimistic,
this man?
and set our sights on the nation we know we can be and we must be. I thank my predecessors of both parties for their presence here today. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And I know
Man, Bill Clinton is
And
not
I know
looking
the
good.
resilience of our Constitution and the strength of our nation, as does President Carter, who I spoke with last night, who cannot be with us today, but whom we salute for his lifetime in service. I've just taken the sacred oath each of those patriots have taken. The oath first sworn by George Washington. But the American story
Who are these people?
depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we the people who seek a more perfect union. This is a great nation. We are good people. And over the centuries, through storm and strife,
My only thing
peace and in war,
about government
we've
right
come
now,
so far. But we still have
too much
far to
establishment.
go.
Establishments, you know.
We'll press forward with speed and
Career
urgency, for
politicians.
We have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found a time more challenging,
Oh, I thought he was gonna like
difficult.
have one of those
time we're in
moments.
now.
Have one of my moments where I'm just like,
Once in a century virus
uh.
that silently stalks the country.
Here we
It's
go.
taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. A cry for survival comes from the planet itself. A cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat. To overcome
Wait.
the domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat.
Wait. What domestic terrors? Which ones? All of them? We're gonna go after Antifa and the Proud Boys and anybody who just like started some chaos? All the looters? Because I know all the looters weren't all Antifa.
To overcome these challenges, to restore the soul and secure the future of America, requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. unity. In another January,
Let's go Unity.
on New Year's Day in
Enough of that.
1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history, it'll be for this act, and my whole soul is in it." My whole soul is in it.
His whole soul.
Today, on this January day, my whole soul is
Oops.
in this. Bringing America
Just
together,
looking at things.
uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness, and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work.
Unity will, I mean,
Rebuild
it's
the middle class and make healthcare
seems like a lot of
secure
those
for all.
things were just
We can
pandemic,
deliver
not
racial
because we were
justice,
not
and we
united.
can make America once again the leading force for good in the world. I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all are created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward.
That'd been great. They
can do
showed
that
Pence
now.
and that fly came back.
History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace,
It's too hot.
only bitterness and fury.
Gotta lower the temperature, yeah.
No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America.
United?
If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed in America when we've acted together. And so today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh, all of us. Let's begin to listen to one another again, hear one another, see one another, show respect to one another. Politics doesn't have to be a raging fire, destroying everything in its path.
Oh, damn.
Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for total war. And we must reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured.
Trump slam. Trump slam getting applause here.
My fellow Americans, we have to be different than this. America has to be better than this. And I believe America is so much better than this. Just look around. Here we stand in the shadow of the Capitol Dome, as was mentioned earlier, completed amid the Civil War, when the Union itself was literally hanging in the balance. Yet we endured. We prevailed. Here we stand, looking out on the great mall where Dr. King spoke of his dream. Here we stand where 108 years ago, at another inaugural, thousands of protesters tried to block brave women marching for the right to vote. And today, we mark the swearing in of the first woman in American history elected to national office, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yay.
Don't tell me things can't change. Here we stand across the Potomac from Arlington Cemetery, where heroes who gave the last full measure of devotion rest in eternal peace. And here we stand, just days after a riotous mob thought they could use violence to silence the will of the people, to stop the work of our democracy, to drive us from this sacred ground. It did not happen. It will never happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Not ever.
A lot of talk about unity here. Wonder if that's going to imply anything for Dems versus Repubs in Congress.
Supported our campaign. I'm humbled by the faith you placed in us. To all those who did not support us, let me say this. Hear me out as we move forward.
You already know.
Take a measure of me and my heart. If you still
I always think of
disagree,
that type of
so
stuff too.
be it. That's democracy. That's America. The right to
Especially when
dissent
you get like stuff
peaceably
like this.
within the guardrails of
It's
our
like will they
republic,
use that
perhaps
against him?
this nation's
Or will they use that
greatest
against
strength.
someone else?
Yet hear me clearly. Disagreement must not lead to disunion. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans. And I promise you, I will fight as hard for those who did not support me as for those who did.
Sounds like the same exact
Many
thing,
centuries
like word
ago,
for word, like you
Saint
said last
Augustine,
time.
a saint of my church, wrote that a people was a multitude defined by the common objects of their love. Defined by the common objects of their love.
Of the love.
What are the common objects we as Americans love that define us as Americans?
Money.
I think we know. Opportunity,
Can't say that.
security,
And
liberty, dignity, respect, honor, and yes, the truth.
Oh, now you said troop for a second.
Recent
Could you
weeks
just
and
look at the
months
troops?
have taught us a painful lesson.
It's like, wow.
There is truth and there are lies. Lies told for power and for profit. And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders. Leaders who have pledged to honor our Constitution and protect our nation.
I'm looking at his chat and they're
defend
like,
the
what's up
truth
with the three guys? Is
and
that your
defeat the
buddies? Like me and
Look.
Kevin trying to make a band.
I understand that many of my fellow Americans view the future with fear and trepidation.
My fellow
I
man.
understand they worry about their jobs. I understand, like my dad, they lay at bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering.
That's like the only
trying to
time
keep my
fellow really gets used, right? Other
Trying to
than
pay
like,
my
oh, hey,
mortgage.
look, there's a bunch of fellows over there or something like that.
Thinking about their families,
My fellow.
about what comes next. I promise you, I get it. But the answer is not to turn inward, to retreat into competing factions, distrusting those who don't look like you.
Hey, yo, pretty good gaming rating with a party of 4. Hey, thank you so much, you
must
guys.
end this
Shout out to you
uncivil
guys. Hope all is well.
The pit's red against blue. Rural
Man,
versus
I feel
urban.
bad for people that raid me and
Rural
host me
versus urban.
because I do like the boring things
Conservative
now.
versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls
Yes,
instead of hardening our hearts. If we show a little tolerance and humility,
Log.
and if we're willing to stand in the
Yeah,
other person's
pretty much
shoes,
talking
as my
about
mom would
Biden's
say,
America.
just for a moment, stand in
It is the
shoes.
first day of this man,
Because here's the thing about life:
and it's crazy. First day, and people are already talking
no
about
accounting
him passing
for
away.
what fate will deal you.
Isn't that nutty? So, where did I see that? Someone, it was like, something like Quartz or something. I think they're like, thing. Biden, passing. Yeah, there you go. Oh wait, no, I know it's on Quartz. Forget where, but yo, what's up, you guys? I rate you more if you lie. If I what? I'd rate you more if you I could. It's all good. No worries, man. It's all good. No worries. But yeah, I hope all is good with you guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Wednesday. What's new? Yeah, like I said, just been talking about Biden, his America, and what we should go moving on with life and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because at least with with the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States. She's all like, yo, stimulus, son. So again, stimulus. And Biden appointed that person just recently. So, hey, stimulus. I just wish we had more numbers. Dream Daddy's tanking our stats. What you think? Biden, good or bad? Oh, it's all good. It's whatever, y'all. Honestly, I just appreciate anyone hosting. Even, shout outs to my homie Danny Illuminous. He always hosts me, even though it's just like hosting with one, and typically that one is you yourself. So, like, honestly, I appreciate anyone that hosts and raise. Shout outs to those that come through. I just got a host yesterday. Someone just like came through like, yo, I love your streams. Shout outs to XK Neat X. Or no, sorry, XK Next. There you go. But what do I think of Biden? And, he's Biden. He's not bad. So he signed the Paris piece of whatever, the Paris agreements. So, like if you kind of knew with Biden what he did with the speeches, he's all like green energy. So this was not like surprising, but it's good that we're back on it. So definitely for those that are like, investors like me, it's like, okay, let's go into the, greener sector, see if like what, solar energy or whatever, electric vehicles, whatever, market. That's pretty good. And then, his little Secretary of Treasury or whatever, Janet Yellen, who was actually the previous Fed chairman before Jerome Powell. And, money printer go brrt, or whatever, brr. Can't, I'm not gonna roll my R's right now. Or I can't. I wish I could. But, not bad. Nice little, where's the Biden drama? I don't know. Haven't heard anything. I did see on like Twitter for like a quick second, of course, that hashtag came back of like hashtag not my president, but that's like gone. I haven't seen that for a bit. I don't know if that's still like a thing anymore. But yeah, other than that, it's been like a very chill, mundane day. Which I wasn't like truly like surprised, to be honest. I definitely hear like the not my president type of thing. But like I have a feeling too that after all this like election and just 2020, like I feel like people might start like getting off of like social media. I wouldn't say like getting off, but maybe like input wise might like start dropping. And yeah, hopefully that, I don't know. Hopefully it does. Hopefully people are just kind of like, I'm just tired of all this like nonsense on like social media. I'm just gonna take a break or something like that. Or at least like since there is no more Trump, which is great, and all his like lawsuits are gone, which was like, yeah, if it actually did work out, he would become president. That would be crazy to like flip it so late and shit like that. So with all that gone and now there's like kind of peace of mind, I hope people are just like, okay, we can kind of just like not have to like argue with people anymore. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this like stream, kind of like go about it. This is M. Do you have a good rest of your birthday? Yeah. What did I do? yeah, honestly, it was since it was like a Sunday and the next day I'd work. It was pretty much like a normal day. Um, yeah, my mom would, surprise me with breakfast. Well, not like really surprised, but she was like, yeah, I'm making like pancakes. I'm like, yay. So that was cool. Yeah, worked on this like stump. It sucks because like, yeah, this thing is like, it's pretty big. And I'm having to dig pretty deep, and like this hole is having to get pretty big. So I'm like thinking if there's like another way I can go about like pulling this out. And I forgot that I actually have like a cherry picker, like for engines and stuff like that. So like a hydraulic, like, yeah, cherry picker. So maybe I'll probably like move it down, attach it to like the tree stump, and just like jack it up or something. Oh yeah. Jack this tree trunk off and get it off the ground. So yeah, I did that, and then I went to this like dance session out in Concord. It was pretty cool. It's like it wasn't like too many people there. I'm not like, well, I wasn't really expecting too much. I know the dude. Shout outs to DJ Benny. Yeah, just a DJ I know out in Concord, and he's all about the hip hop scene, and he's just like, yo, I just come out here, play music, DJ and stuff like that, and hope you guys come through. And yeah, that was my first time going to that like session in some time, to be honest. So it was cool to see him. It was neat. I might try to like learn how to DJ, or at least like get like some scratching in or something. So yeah, I'm gonna be going to that more often. So that's like Sundays, which is cool. It landed on my birthday, so I had at least something to do. I wasn't just like inside all day. But I don't know. After that day, I've been feeling so well, you guys. That's fine. I haven't got the corona. But yeah, that's pretty much my birthday. Yeah, it was pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? Did as much as I could do. With all that was happening in the world. Yeah, I've been limiting my social media because it just kind of makes me stressed out even before the pandemic. I feel it. Yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, like before the pandemic, all this, Trump was being Trump and people were just being themselves. So definitely, I hope for sure, like, since all this is kind of like ramping down, people will kind of like, like at least the political arguing will definitely be a little less, since it's just like, haha, there's no more like stop the steal, and just people kind of, well, when all that shit was happening, I felt like people were just like, whatever, you guys, you guys are just like, you guys can't just, you guys can't lose gracefully. So that's how it be. Oh well. So there is like all this like tension and all that, that like, comes from, the, police brutality, and then of course the systematic racism. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to get away from that, but at least for me, I just feel like, just don't be, just kind of like oust, I guess, those like evil people, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, yeah, it's evil people's actions, you know what I'm saying? Like, granted, yeah, maybe that guy was like taught wrong and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, it doesn't like break common sense. Like, yeah, I know there have been like tests and stuff like that where people will do these like morally wrong things because they were told to, because of a job or whatever. But like, man, some people have to like understand that like, yo, you're on this man's neck, like, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, we don't need to get into that, but yeah, just there's evil people taking evil actions. You should just like, we gotta oust them. I don't know with the system and all that, but either yeah, you oust everybody out, all the like evildoers, and yeah, just like put in like new people, fresh face with the same system, or you like change it up. But at least that's why, I like to do these little podcasts. Hopefully people tune in and kind of like chime in with their ideas. There's been like talks of like a secession or a peaceful divorce. And it's nothing normal to Californians. A lot of Californians are like, yeah, divide this state into 6 states. So, now it's just like getting bigger with like, hey, you know what? Let's just divide, the state. I mean, that's not really getting to like state level talks, but there's a lot of like, individuals that are like, yeah, this might be a good idea. Trump supposedly is going to make his own party. I'm kind of for that idea. Like, not Trump's party, but like, everyone's always like talking about like, lesser of two evils. And I feel like being tired as well as like, of there's all this politics that just happened, but being tired of this 2-party system. So like, why not have like a third party? And it's like, what do you need to do? Like, truly just have hella money, right? So, I mean, I don't know, maybe, we do it like the party system way, and, we get one dude, back him, support him with like donations and stuff like that, do all this like charity, fun stuff like that. But yeah, I'm curious as what you can do in this new Biden America. And then, yeah, like I said, who he appointed for Treasury Secretary was the previous Fed chairman, and like the Fed for the past like decade has been money printer go burr. So hey, there you go, stimulus right there. At least this might be more targeted. I think they're saying like small businesses, but hey, if you're a small business and you fit in the parameters, you might get a pay raise, or you might get a stimulus. And of course there's gonna be more stimulus with the Americans, but we'll see where that goes. I know there's like talks right now because like Joe Biden was like saying 14, when now AOC is like, no, you said 2,000. Low unless it's that nail art. So talk about Biden becoming Jesus, or him being Jesus, or something like that. Man, there's talks of, like I said, there's that article. Where is it? I gotta find it. They're saying Quartz and Biden passing away. Hold on. I could have sworn I saw on this like website. That's terrible. I'm probably on the FBI list right now because I'm looking for Biden passing or something like that. It's like when I remember like early like 2010s, or probably like late 2000s, where they're like, yo, if you say these certain words on the phone, like, yeah, your messages or your call will be recorded and shit like that. So I'm curious as what's happening right now. I could have sworn I saw it. I'm not going crazy. Lol, California is one big recession. Yeah, they could, honestly. They really could. Are you pro Biden? Am I? Honestly, I'm just pro whatever good ideas that he comes up with. Not everything I haven't seen everything at the moment that he has brought, but the entire like him, signing the entire like Paris peace agreement. Like, granted, like he didn't. I mean, like, I don't know like the entire gist of it, but it's pretty much like we're part of the group that that's it's an EU group where they're telling us how to go about climate control. So, okay, cool. Could we have like thought of something better, or, did we need to be part of that group necessarily? Who knows? But if he's trying to go for like a better environmental like future, I'm down for that. I'm more, like I said, I'm more trying to just keep ahead of the curve of what's going to be happening. Like that previous stream I had, there is that thought of the fourth industrial revolution and the great reset. So if that's like what's going to happen, hey, maybe I want to invest my money into like some robotics that are, making these robots to whatever, take people's jobs. But yeah, I haven't seen anything so far. I mean, he appointed Janet Yellen, that is stimulating the country, money go burr. I mean, that it's going to hurt us if we don't get back to work. That's all I'm going to say. With our GDP, we should be able to not really see a whole lot of inflation, but we have to get back to work. We can't just not be working. Stimulus for the people equals 1,400. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so Biden was like, yo, the 600 was a down payment, 1,400 to get the equal 2,000. But there's people like AOC that are like, no, you said 2,000 and we want 2,000. And then there's like some like fights, or there's like talks or discussions on like why this bill isn't like coming out sooner than later, or what it should be. Being the parts that should be mandatory for us, but we're too big and greedy to govern the environments. Fourth reset would be hard for America. How many jets can run on solar? None. But yeah, so that's that's like the push. Like that's what is trying to be. It's not exact, it's definitely not what it is for sure. Cause yeah, like I read an article that California, like, was it, Newsom is trying to get us off of gas by 2035. And I mean, yeah, sure, we don't have like jets or something. I mean, like, yeah, planes come in and out, but like, yeah, maybe he's just speaking about cars, but definitely for sure. Yeah, like I said, there's no jets that run on solar. So like a lot of like, people need a plane to either like just fly out for travel, whether it be for, vacation, business, pleasure, business, and then yeah, for cargo as well. So as for the entire world getting off or becoming like entirely green, no, I don't see it by 2035, which is what they're trying to aim for, or something like that. Or maybe that was just California, but I know sometime soon they're trying to like, yeah, no more fossil fuel. And hey, if they can have, if they can get the, an engine as big as a jet's to take something that's not like jet fuel, then yeah, cool. I mean, we'll see whatever fuel they it consumes, like, effect on the environment. But who knows? Who knows what that will be? And yeah, the fourth reset will be hard for Americans. Hey, yo, thank you for the 300 bits.
Underscore gaming cheered. X
Thank you. Yeah, Biden hinted at to a March stimulus. Yeah, I heard about that. Hopefully it goes down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too sure where the talks are. But I mean, yeah, it's just his first day. So we'll see how it goes as it's uncovering. But from what I've heard from like this one dude, so I tuned into this guy. His name is Meet Kevin. He does a lot of videos on like stock, stimulus, and yada yada yada, like politics and whatnot. And he's been hearing talks. Like I said, AOC saying they want 2,000, and yeah, like I said, Biden is America. Who knows? I mean, well, I'm not saying nothing's gonna be done, but with the idea, or not idea, but there are the far left, and then there are the left who are, I don't know, be considered being like moderate Democrats or something. Yeah, we'll see ideologies. Yeah, that's another thing is interesting too. A lot of old people are getting old and they're getting replaced by younger and newer ideas. I was just looking, or I just posted that one thing in my Discord where it was talking about, what's it called? The universal basic income. So, Andrew Yang was talking about universal income, and already 30 cities are trying to do that. So definitely stimuli is coming. California was already trying to do that too. I think Newsom was saying 600 for something. I think either like small businesses or it was targeted to like people that made 30,000 or less. So yeah, money printer go. America gonna die without oil, baby. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it's like interesting on like, what would be the change? Like there are these like disruptive things, but as for like oil, yeah, we'll probably never get off of oil to be honest. Like not in our lifetimes, but definitely, or I don't know, maybe who knows? But what's it called? I feel like once, like if the world were to get off oil, or not be so reliant on oil, like there might be a possibility that America might lose like the world reserve currency, like status, and it might be like a basket of like world reserve currencies. Universal income is inevitable. Seems like it. But yeah, how are you guys? What's new with you guys? How's the keto? Hopefully that's been going well for you guys. How's life? What's new with you? It's been a minute. It's been a while since you guys had one of those parking lot hangouts. But yo, give me one moment, you guys. I just need to take a quick little break. Yo, did I say goodbye to YouTube? I have not. Yo, YouTube,